are so many, again, variables at play. You have not only what's happening with the technical elements within the aircraft, but you have the environmental implications as well. What was happening in the environment? Wind speeds? Was there any obstruction in terms of visibility? What exactly was happening in terms of airport movements of aircraft? There's so many elements within ultimately the ecosystem that is aviation. You have the airline, you have the aircraft, you have air traffic control, airport operations, and Mother Nature at work. So all of this needs to be understood because it could be one element within that entire mix that imbalance the entire ability for the aircraft to be able to depart safely. We know they've had issues with the 737 MAX. That's been tragic. That have literally been fatal incidents. And 2024 was very much bruised by all of the issues in that regard, including the legal aspects. The 787, the Dreamliner, is a beautiful aircraft, and it is one of the most important aircraft when it comes to sustainable aviation, emissions reduction, managing the costs of aviation, which ultimately goes back to passengers and goes back to cargo. So it is tragic, but again, we have a CEO and an organization that is re-energized and recommitted to working with global aviation to be able to determine the future of safety of flight. And through any incident come the learnings. And Boeing, I'm sure, will embrace this as an opportunity to say, how do we make sure that this never happens again? We know we have a duopoly between Airbus and Boeing. Yes, Comac is coming on from China, but that is still a manufacturer that needs to get regulatory approvals for international utilization and sales. So Boeing and Airbus really are determining the future of all of us being able to connect. Boeing is vital, and they've always been at the forefront of sustainable aviation. So the billions that they have put into innovation in this regard is enormous. 737 MAX, the 787, those are two specific models that are very much designed for the future of flight in a much more sustainable way, and that all airlines ultimately around the world are looking to as potential aircraft to bring into their fleets. We know that both Boeing and Airbus have been delayed in deliveries, so there is a hunger ultimately for airlines around the world to bring these aircraft on. And admittedly, Air India and the Tata organization have been very proud about the fact that they've made a major commitment to Boeing. And Boeing is very grateful to them because it's an incredible endorsement of the trust in Boeing as an over century old now organization.